kushukuru mimi sitachoka. Ay, 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 ay. Nashukuru pale nimetoka.
Hello, welcome to episode 10 of the Jared podcast. My name is Wanjiru.
My name is Ben Psycho. Happy to be here.
How have you been, Ben?
I've been great. Somebody said that I look like I'm recording the Psycho podcast because that's when I used to wear these shirts.
That's somebody's bagati.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did that hurt you?
No haters can stop me today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
How have you been?
I've been good.
Yeah.
Just nursing a flu, but we are out of the woods now.
How serious was it?
I think it was worse than the other flus that I've had. Mine never get to a cough. So when we got to a cough, I was like, oh boy.
But you went to hospital.
Mm-hmm.
What did the doc say?
See, that's between me and my doctor. Like, I just don't go discussing everything
Okay.
online. Yeah.
Sour.
How's everything going for you? How's your album that you're always...
We actually on the
It was
final
like-
stages. I got the final songs yesterday. From
Yeah.
Sioux.
You
They
are on
sound
the
really
final-
good. Like, this is probably the best album that I've had in a while.
Yeah, you are on the final stage.
Yeah, I'm on the final stages. But it's going to be ready next week. We're shooting the first music video on Friday.
Yeah. Okay, congratulations. Last week we had Nova Pioneer and we got to go back to school in our minds.
Yeah.
And talk about how school was and also learn about Nova Pioneer, which was really good. Thank you so much to everyone who showed love to that episode. As we said last week, please follow us on our socials. We are going to be touring Nova Pioneer and you want to see everything that they have to offer.
Guys, they have such a cool vibe. Like
Cool
genuinely.
vibe,
Like
yeah.
it's not even for hype.
Yeah.
They have very cool vibes. A very
On
good
and off
culture.
camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we really enjoyed that episode. But I'm here today. I don't know why I'm having breakouts. You're like a skin expert. You're working with one of the top skin brands. What do you think the problem is? Here.
I think maybe ni rochafu. No.
Is that what you guys get in the briefing?
It could be
'Cause
so. No, but it could be many factors. Nione kando takusaidia.
But I've
I've hidden my stash of really good products and maybe I need to share them with you now.
You do actually have products?
Yeah, that work. Have you been using Towers?
No, I just use whatever I use.
No, Towers is really good to help. Yeah, with the skin.
Pray
I'll
for
show
me,
you.
guys.
Yeah. All right, so we get into today's episode. We're experimenting with something new. So we're going to have different, we've collected articles and conversations that we've been seeing online around relationships, and we just want to give our POV. You can also share your POV in the comment section.
Yeah.
Let us know if this is something that you like and you'd like to see more of. Yeah.
You know, I love how whenever we cut these small short clips of the Jared podcast, post them online. Like now when you shared about the gym story, every time I post about the gym, I get like 100 messages asking me, have you said hi to Tower?
It should be
have
like
you
that.
said hi to Wanjiru?
It should be like that.
Your people, eh?
Yeah, I've sent them. All right, we start. People who say that dads of newborns shouldn't be getting sleep if their wives are so ridiculous. I don't get why you'd want your husband to suffer right along with you instead of resting up so he's actually in a good place to care for the whole family.
That's by a scientist, right?
No. Yes, maybe.
Yeah.
Or definitely not a mom because they don't understand it. Is it by a mom? Oh, ooh. Okay.
It's by a lady.
All right. So people who
Love
say,
it.
I'll speak for me. So why I think, first of all, for me, it's usually just like we're in this together. We're in the thick of things together. Let's solve this together. Okay. That's my thing of like nikiamka atawe uamke. But 9 months in, I've come to learn that it's not a fair balance. It will never be, the scales will never be fair, especially after the kids come and it's a bitter pill to swallow. But it is what it is. I still do think that you guys shouldn't have to be sleeping the whole night. Like I could not fathom that in the pits of postpartum, Ben would be sleeping 24 hours, like would be sleeping throughout the whole night. I would be so upset. Now I can kind of like ease up because he's also gotten into a routine. But in the thick of postpartum, come on, we're waking up together.
I feel like if you don't have any role that you're doing as you wake up, there's no need for you to wake up. So for example, if you've pumped and there's the milk there, as a dad, if I wake up, I don't need to wake you up. Had to start with that. But if you've not pumped and you wake up, you don't need to wake me up as well, because there's nothing I'm doing.
But it's more than just...
There's no moral support at 2 a.m. Well, mama, hey!
No, it's just to know that we are, like, to see you there. It's just like we are in this together. Like, I'm not alone. I'm not doing this alone.
You can also see
like
me
the
in
sleepless
bed.
nights.
You can also see me asleep, and you can still see me being there together. At least one of us is resting, one of us is working.
You know what? It makes sense in my mind if the woman is staying back home and the guy has to go to work every morning. Then that kind of makes sense to me, that maybe he needs to rest because he's busy during the day. But if even the woman is waking up to go to work and even the man is waking up to come on now.
Okay, if the woman is waking up to go to work, it's a different ball game. However, it's not an issue of just waking up. It's an issue of what am I waking up to do?
I think sometimes it's just like, don't equate, you don't have to be doing something physical. I think it's that just your presence creates an emotional kind of connection with your partner, at least for me, that to know that I'm not in this alone, that it's hard, but it's hard on both of us. And we're going through this together.
My presence is there even when I'm asleep.
No, it's not.
What do
it's
you
like,
mean?
It's not there. It's physically there, but it's not like emotionally there.
Could be
That's my
dreaming
thing.
about you.
No, stop. And these are the things that make people think you're a red flag, because you just want to be like...
No, on that one I
my
remember.
Nankingani.
No. I remember when we went for the Mama Mudhoni classes. Mama Mudhoni said something very important. She said, if you have no business waking up, one of you should sleep. There's no need for you, both of you guys, to wake up, because you don't want two cranky parents in the morning.
I agree.
If you have one cranky one who's still tired and sleepy, you can continue sleeping as I continue to take care of the baby.
And I think
she made a lot of sense.
And maybe that's where the shift system then works. Because like we used to do that in the beginning, where we both wake up and we both try to be there for each other. And while it was cute and nice, I think the shift system works. But to allow the woman to do it the whole night while you're just also sleeping, I think that's unfair.
Taking turns with duties sounds like a good idea until you realize newborns spent the first 9 months of their existence attached to their mother, and this dependency doesn't just go away when they are born. You see, also the way nature and biology has designed it is that baby will come. In fact, they say a baby starts to know that they're a different entity from the mom at what month?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Akina venye walikuwa wanakurudilia hizi vitu kwa lactating. When babies are born, they tend... Lamaz, not lactate. Why do I call it lactating all the time? When babies are born, they tend to see themselves as part of... They can't see a difference between them and the mom.
Right.
They see themselves as one.
Yeah.
Sindio?
Yeah.
So already from the onset, you and the baby are more attached than I am. That doesn't mean I can't do more duties, but it means that you automatically, the baby will just need you more than they will need me.
And I guess that's what I was saying. Like, I thought it would be a 50-50, but I guess it will never be. And it's unfair. It's unfair, but I guess that's how it's been designed. It's true that Tawa needs me more than he does you. And sometimes that's really hard on me and on me physically. And I guess maybe then what I would say dads need to support more is maybe support more in the household. Don't make me now have to leave Tawa and then have to go figure out 10,000 other things. If I have no choice but to be there for the baby, then maybe you can support in other ways in the home.
100%. We're in agreement. We have a deal.
Yeah.
It's white smoke.
Yeah.
But I told you some time back that you're gonna miss those seasons.
I will.
When the baby just wanted you more.
I will.
And when the baby was so, like right now our boy has started to walk, or rather he's practicing. He's trying to stand up, not even walk. He's trying to stand up. You can't get that guy to sit, to even lie on you. He can't. He just doesn't want to do it. So I feel like you will miss those seasons.
I definitely
They're very
will.
tedious.
I thought I would stop breastfeeding at 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Naniki.
Hey, 1-0.
That independence it's shocking to me. You never think they'll be independent when you're in the throes of postpartum, but
yeah.
Yeah.
And they're yet to become like a toddler now, when now they just want to play run around.
And then,
I don't have time for sit downs.
I hear like so I didn't grow up with brothers, but I hear that when boys grow old and old, like they start now not wanting to hang out with their moms. Like you come home, like how many times do you go home?
What?
Like what was the last time you're
personal.
home? No, like when was the last time you were home?
I mean, I talk to my mom a lot.
No, when was the last time you were home?
A month ago.
I can't imagine Tower not coming to see me for a month. Like, take me now, kill me. Kill me. What do you mean in a month you haven't come to see me?
Yeah, I noticed girls have a very interesting connection to their parents that I didn't
Like
have.
a month.
Yeah.
And he hasn't come to visit
You
me.
will have to learn to let him go. Like
no.
if he goes to campus and he wants to see you thrice a year.
Absolutely not. You cannot. And we're in the same county.
Yeah.
Same locality.
And I told you eventually he'll get married. He'll have kids.
I
And
knew
his wife will be sitting at the front. In fact, you'll be on the 7th seat.
He would never do that to me. He loves
Who
it too much.
I know. Actually, want him to do that. He needs to be his own man.
You know,
Eventually.
publicly, I can't show my cuckoo. So that's fine. If that's what he wants to do, I'll support him.
Start warming up.
Easy. All right. I felt guilty because my wife took the bulk of sleep deprivation with our kids, but she pointed out I needed to be functional to go to my job and provide for the family. She insisted it was her duty as full-time mom to support that. I cannot thank God enough for her. 2 sleep-deprived adults who need to take care of children is a recipe for disaster.
That's the gospel according to Mama Mudhoni. And I agree with it 100%.
But it's not that I wanted him sleep deprived, but I'll admit that looking over at him snoozing away when I was waking every 45 minutes was rage inducing, even though there wasn't an alternative because he had to be lucid for work.
I know of a story of a couple that was saying that that the lady was saying that she chased the husband away from the room because she couldn't just stand him, just out there resting and snoring as she did all the work of breastfeeding.
But what happens in a case where the woman is going to work as well?
Now that is different.
Because we live in a society, yes, I know they're stay-at-home moms, but we also live in societies where everyone is bringing in their bag.
That is different now. Now in that one, we have to be understanding because she also can't be sleep deprived all the time. I think you can balance that and pump. So that as a guy, you also wake up and help.
Yeah, I think in that
No,
case.
mi si mtu mubaya. Ni wale wananizunguka ndio wabaya.
But you see, the thing is, even though like it makes sense, like it makes sense in your mind that, yeah, he needs to be serious. He needs to be ready for work and I'll be at home. It's still very rage inducing, as they said, to see them asleep while you have to wake up and take care of this toddler.
Oh, it's rage inducing.
Like I couldn't handle it.
What about
I
like just
couldn't
looking at the
handle it.
cuteness of this new bundle of joy that is just there?
But it's work. Like I also want to sleep. And we all know the effects of not sleeping.
Kazi ya Mungu haina makosa.
Yeah, but more strength to you guys who are not doing shifts. More strength to you guys.
I know so many people, so many of my friends who tell me who are like, I have an older friend who told me he never used to wake up, never woken up. They have 5 kids.
Kwa serikali yangu. Hey. Kwa serikali yangu. Tutafanya.
He never used to wake up.
I get it. If the guy has to go to work and the woman is staying back, then maybe that does make sense. I don't think it takes away the anger, but it does make sense because you're going to provide for the family and that's your contribution.
Yeah.
But if we're both going to work, I
don't know, babe. I feel like you will warm up eventually because even right now, you wake up. Sometimes I hardly wake up. You feel... I sleep, I wake up in the morning.
But I'm saying now it's easier. Mm-hmm. You know, when it's a newborn, it's every 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like, and our doctor told us, asipoamka muamshe. So every 3 hours you're waking up to feed. And you're not just waking up to look at the baby. You're also working on breastfeeding. And that's also tedious in its own way. So you're every 3 hours. I get it now. Now it's easier. But when they were newborn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kwa serikali yangu.
Newborn is crazy.
Itakuwa tough. Aya, your turn.
Any adult that thinks a newborn needs their biological father equally as much as their biological mother is crazy. This my partner language for husbands and wives and children is just sad and pathetic. You're not partners like some 8th project nonsense. You're husband and wife.
Wait, what? What are they saying?
Any
They sound too harsh. So what does what they're saying?
Yeah. I even cleared some language here. But any adult that thinks newborn needs their biological father equally as much as their biological mother, in fact, it says is an idiot. This my partner language for husbands and wives with children is just sad and pathetic. You're not partners like some 8th project nonsense. You're husband and wife. Discuss.
Oh, so the idea of partnership is not a thing according to them.
Yes, it's husband and wife. Because they're saying the needs of a newborn and cannot be satisfied fully by their father.
Okay, you know what? I want to hear your perspective because I think it's not debatable that the mother is needed. So what do you think? Do you think a newborn needs the dad?
Why do I feel like there's a gun pointed at me here and
No, there's none. There's none.
What's that tukasikie?
No, like you had like be honest from your experience.
From what's your?
Do you think a newborn needs their dad?
Yeah, I think so. Not even from the time they were in the womb. You know, I see how Tower is how the connection I have with T, and from what I was taught is that this babies will respond a lot to their moms, you know. But I see how that boy gets. He can't even fall down when I get in the house because of how happy he gets. He cries. Like, you can't hold my son when I'm there. It's hard. He just wants to be with me. And I think there's some level of work that has gone into it. When he was in the womb, I would talk to him. After he was born, I'd also be the one who I learned very quickly how to put him to sleep. So me and him, I think we formed a strong connection. So I don't know if that's what happens with everyone. So for me, I think newborns do need their dads. There's a connection that just comes between you and the son, and I think at this level is where you also establish parental authority.
Yeah.
Something my Rev George told me about kids. He told me that once kids are born, they already have a very strong attachment to their mother. So as a dad, you need to start working towards having that. You're not born at the same level also.
Yeah.
The baby is more attached to you than they're attached to me. So I have to work for that attachment. And if you let it sleep, you might catch up when it's
too late.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my issue with such conversations.
Yeah,
I don't think we'll ever be 50-50, but I think such conversations, in my mind, they propagate a culture where the guy doesn't have to be present,
and that's
or
a
doesn't
problem.
have to do anything and wait for mom to do everything, and then we'll catch up somewhere down the line.
And that's a problem, I think.
Yeah. Oh, it's my turn.
Oh.
I am the mother to 3 young adults, and at no time did I ever experience rage, frustration, or despair after their births, because I have always understood and appreciated that men and women are made by God to be different and to serve different roles. God bless men. We would have nothing without them. Ding.
Amen. Hallelujah. That's
More power to you, mom. Like, if you've never experienced rage,
let me see that
frustration, or despair.
I'm a mother of 3 young.
Hey, that's powerful.
What?
Like, she's never experienced rage.
I have never experienced rage, frustration after their births, because I have always understood and appreciated that men and women are made by God. I would love, God bless men, who would have nothing without them. Yeah, it's a fact.
I think God bless men. I think 100%.
1,000.
We would have nothing without them.
It's true.
I wouldn't have my son without you, for
Yeah.
sure. But nothing is like so general. Like, we would have nothing without them.
Okay, do you want like another language? It's the same thing.
I just don't think it's a correct statement.
So leo kuna shida choice of words.
Yeah. That's too general. Okay. And if we're looking at it as it is, maybe it's an inaccurate statement. But I do think that men are so integral and important in the society. But if you've never experienced rage and frustration, I think I understand the role of men and women, but I don't think that has spared me from feeling anger.
Me, this whole season, I've not experienced any rage and frustration. God bless Ben. You could do nothing without Ben.
I think you haven't experienced it because the weight hasn't been on you.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
It's because the times that he'd wake me up at night, like 3 times in a row.
And you'd be angry.
I'm furious.
Yeah. You have experienced
angry
rage.
at him. I'm frustrated at the situation. However, I always used to call myself out and say, are you complaining? Like, how much had you waited for this boy? Because I really waited for this boy.
Hey, God bless you, Percy. God bless you. God bless you.
So I've tried not to get myself in situations of rage.
And I think it's because you're a guy. And I think it's not a heavier burden on you as it is on me and the weight of the things that I need to do.
Imabo inakuwa gumu.
Na nilikuwa najua you won't argue with that for long.
Aya. Why is it a norm when babies are made? A relationship all of a sudden doesn't work. Michelle Obama really said it best. When you have kids, you start measuring. Why is it a norm when babies are born? Relationships most of the times don't work out.
But the minute we had kids, it was like, where are you going? And how far? And you start measuring. It's like, how many diapers did you change? And, oh, you're golfing? Oh, you got time? Oh, you got time to golf? How you at the gym all the time?
Why you in my brain right now? I'm like, golfing.
That's when all the measuring starts because you got this project.
Yes.
And guess what? Little kids, they're terrorists. They are. They have demands. They don't talk.
right.
They're poor communicators. They cry all the time. They're irrational.
They're selfish.
They're needy. And you love them more than anything. And so you can't blame them.
No.
I think it's
Do you measure? Like, do guys measure?
No, I don't.
How come?
I don't know how. Maybe I just looking at it as a responsibility that I'm supposed to do.
Do you ever look at me and say like, oh, she's doing more than I am?
What? Or maybe I'm doing more than she. Like that's the measuring.
Yeah. Do you ever look at me and say, oh my God, she has to take care of the home? Do you ever sit down and maybe look at all the things I have to do and be like, she's actually doing more than I am? And is that like a... Yeah?
No, I don't.
How come?
I don't know. It just doesn't occur to me that I need to measure how much you've done, how much I've done. Or
So how does your mind work in that sense?
That we have this little bundle of joy and let's raise him.
So it doesn't matter who does?
No, it matters who does.
No. How many times someone does something?
No, not really. I've been watching him since birth. It has never crossed my mind that, okay, I've watched him for too long. Maybe somebody else should do it. I just feel I'm so good at it and I love it.
Does it ever occur to you, I do probably one thing that's related to Tawa. What about all the other things?
What do you mean?
Like, so he needs his food schedule. Has he eaten? He's shopping for his food, his menu for the food, his outfits, has he outgrown clothes?
Would you trust me to be in
I'm
charge
asking.
of his outfits?
No, I'm asking. Like, I'm not saying like now we change roles.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get, maybe do you even understand the scale of what it takes?
I mean, I know the scale because I'm normally there. Mm-hmm. However, like, it just doesn't occur to me. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm spoiled.
Privileged.
Yeah. Because I find that you've already figured out some of those things that I can't figure out.
Can't or won't?
Can't.
Mm-hmm. I think you can.
You wouldn't want me to trust. You wouldn't trust me with his fits.
You know, that's an assumption. You know why? Because you dress yourself and you dress pretty well.
What?
So your son, you do have issues in combining sometimes. you know, you told me the other day, by the hata sijuangi kula nini. Sijui hata food yake upikwa aje.
Siwaambie.
No, it's genuine.
No, I know I say feed him, but
no, you know what he
sijui-
eats, but hata ujui. Nikikuuliza, leo nini anakula lunch?
rice and beans.
No.
Oh, he had that yesterday.
Yeah, he's eating rice again on Saturday.
Oh. Do you have like a timetable?
Yeah. Real money for him.
Can you tell them I'm a good dad? Father's Day is coming and maybe brands are there. They're like, hey, we are partner.
You're a great dad. You're just not strong at knowing his menu.
Okay.
But Tower will play with Ben. I feel like I'm overcompensating.
Okay.
But you're a super. Unajua watu wa TikTok. Men.
Hey,
Man.
me TikTok I'm used to. Like I'm used to the comments nowadays. Let me ask you. Do you think measuring is important? Or why do you measure?
I would understand it to be important I would understand why somebody would do it in the beginning. Because it's really hard. It's really hard. And you think you're going to be doing something with someone. And so when you're pulling in extra weight, that's a lot to handle. Even the ones who've understood the roles of men and women as God intended them to be. Guy, us who are not reading the Bible well enough. But I do see it has more negatives on the marriage than it has positives, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you both can find a common ground, good for you. But I think that measuring, in my opinion, it has more negatives on the marriage than it has positives. It's true what they say that I don't think it will ever be 50-50. At one point, someone will be bringing in 80, the other one will be bringing in 20.
And I think that's what makes up a relationship.
Yeah.
Because, Nyambura, the therapist, one day told us that transitions are some of the most common causes for divorce. And it's transition in anything, a loss, a baby. And I didn't know how much a baby can impact a marriage until the baby came. Baby
You think
is
it's a
blessing.
beautiful thing? It's and
Yes,
it is.
It's a blessing.
Yeah.
But I think the amount of work involved and the mind shift that comes with it is just on another level. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Kumbushe tena I'm a good dad. Wambie.
Umesikia threatened aje na niwe unakuanga sita anajua wewe ni a good dad. Si mimi najua.
Yo my.
Achana na watu wengine. In some cases, the relationship in question was already holding on by a thread. The added stress of a baby just is a straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
I see that happening.
Yeah, that can happen. And
I
as
see
I've
that
said,
happening.
relationships are mostly shaken by a transition. So if that transition is not handled well, it will affect the dynamics of your marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially if you're hanging on a thread.
The baby can change a lot.
Think about that before you get a baby.
There's some things I used to say, us. We have a marriage podcast. Can never be us.
Kwanza tumeisema at the same time.
You're in it, you're like, no.
Yeah.
That was speaking from privilege.
Which
and
is so
pride.
beautiful which is so contradictory because a baby is such a huge blessing.
Yeah.
Especially when both of you have been praying for it and wanting it. And then it comes and adds layers of way.
Like one of the things that we say that would never happen to us is we would never fight about roles. Because, before it was just me and you. You knew what you're supposed to do. I knew what I'm supposed to do. Like I thought we were mature enough. We don't fight much about stuff, We don't fight about money. So this will not be an issue. But you see the amount of work that comes with it. That's where already you can see the measuring comes in. And even if Michelle Obama, who's like the wife of the first black president, like
it's measured.
I assume that at that level, maybe everything is soft. You have so many people who work for you.
You have the economic resources.
Yeah,
you have
you
people
have so many
to
people
help
who work
you.
for you, but I guess parenting is one of those things that you just have to do the job.
You can't delegate.
And no matter how tight you guys are, especially the measuring, that can start bringing conflict. And that, I think that affected us to a point.
Yeah.
Do you have any other example?
I thought we'd found ways to conflict resolute. I don't know if that's English. And I thought, we've figured everything out. A baby is a blessing. There's no way we would it would be so bad. We'd find ourselves in arguments that we can't resolve.
Yeah.
And we found ourselves in arguments that we can't resolve. Yeah.
Hiya.
Tough.
I have another one. Men aren't taught how to deal with hormonal changes in women.
You guys are not taught.
Let me finish.
When is your main conference mnadoingi?
Machoma push-ups. It literally turns you into an entirely new individual over time in an unpredictable way. And if we don't actually love you, but we like you, it's pretty much doomed.
Speak on that. You're
Men
a guy.
aren't taught how to deal with hormonal changes in women. Wow. That is so true. That is so true.
Nobody talks about it.
That is 100% true. This week
Na
something
mimi namfunzangu
happened.
mambo mob. Namfunzangu communicate.
Nani anafaa kutufunza? Ni nani shule gani hiyo tunafaa tunaenda to enroll sahi?
Sawa. Pole.
The other day something happened this week to the car. So when I went to sort it out, I found the person who is in charge of the garage was telling me a story also about the wife, and he was telling me how much the wife changed after they got a baby. And
Kwani ulikuwa unamwambia nimechange?
hapana, si tulikuwa tunaongea tu mambo yetu.
So the wife
Sasa.
also changed means ulimwambia your wife has changed.
No. I didn't tell him that the wife has changed. But anyway, so umesema tunafaa tukuwa tunafunzwa.
Okay, sawa.
Exactly.
Ongea.
So I was
Mambo
talking-
yangu kuipeleka huko nje wewe.
No, it was, by the way, I just knew how he figured it out. And then he told me that pia when they also got a baby, alikuwa amekataza wife kufanya kitu na gari, then ikaenda ikapata damage. Then after that alikuwa amemwambia usi when you come in through the gates, you don't do this. Akakam, she did the same thing, more damage. And then he told me that in that season he understood, he had to sit back and understand how much the newborn phase, the effect that it had caused on the lady, you know, sometimes you forget stuff, sometimes you just don't care. And he was actually talking to me with regards to, you have to extend a lot of grace, especially when the baby is still young, because the lady has experienced so many changes in their body and you haven't.
Like zero.
And so
Like
you need
zero.
to extend a lot of
Like
grace.
zero.
So yes, nobody teaches us that. And sometimes I tend to think that you're the same Wanjiru who was before the baby. Sometimes I assume that when the baby came, after hizo 3 months, ukapona, now
Sasa we are back to
now we're
normal.
back to the old Wanjiru. But I'm having to adjust that maybe bado.
Ni bust your bubble.
Sai, tabi bust.
I don't think I'll go back to that person.
What?
See, you're supposed to change. You're not supposed. How can I have a baby and I remain the same?
Then I guess I also need to change.
Or maybe you need to learn the new me.
So yeah, nobody teaches us how to deal with the
Hey,
emotional.
umesikia kulearn about the new me, ukasema kazi nyingi. Hey, I didn't sign up for this. I don't even know who this new Anjiru is. It's just been 9 months postpartum. I know I forget stuff a lot, like more than I would want to. I know I was already introverted. I'm 10 times more introverted. I just want to spend time with my son.
Okay.
I'm also discovering who this new person is.
What are some of the changes that maybe you've noted? The ones that you can share.
See, that's what I'm telling you.
Emotional, yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. Like, I just want to spend time with my son and at home. Those are the things. And I like really just super, super close friends. If we're not like that, like I'll probably not. It will take a lot of, I need to start doing things more, doing outside more. And I was already 10 times introverted. I don't even know who I am anymore, Ben. Like, you're starting now to rediscover who you are. What do you like? What do you not like anymore? What do you care for? What don't you care for?
What's the thing that you used to like, but now you just could care less about it?
Do I have something in my mind that comes to my mind? I don't know. It will come to me. And you know, the interesting thing is that you've also changed.
Yeah, explain.
You don't feel like you've changed?
I have, but maybe I want to hear it from your perspective.
I think you're more, you're softer. You're softer. I think
Why is that softer struggling to come out?
because I wanted to use a different word, but I think softer is the word. I think you're softer, and I think maybe having a son softened you a little bit,
Softer to you, or to everything, or to
just
everyone?
naturally. And I think you're more, you're extending a bit more grace, especially to even people. I think it's opened up your heart more.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the noticeable changes I've noticed. Yeah. For you, how have you changed?
Of course that, but I think it's extending more grace, especially to you. Sometimes I forget.
Doesn't feel that way for me. I'm joking. Hey.
You know, you're also a lot. But sometimes I forget, and then I have to catch myself later on. I'm like, maybe you need to put your ego down and just sort this out. Yeah. Well, you look shocked and traumatized.
No, I could never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Okay.
More grace.
You have become softer. But you told me that, like, once you get kids, for a guy, the testosterone.
Oh, yeah. It was a research I was watching on DW. They were doing a test on changes or how a newborn affects men. And one of the things that they learned scientifically is that their testosterone goes down because their care has to go up. Hence why now during this season, men are more prone to suicide and to be to depression, because testosterone is what helps you balance that in your body. Yeah. So even for men, like our hormones also are affected.
It's not about being equal, Ben. It's not about the same experience.
Well, I'm not trying to equalize. I'm just trying to educate you, because also no one teaches you, ladies.
The hormonal changes.
Yeah, nobody's teaching the ladies about the hormonal changes in men.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you. So like during this season, and as a result of the hormonal changes that you've had in your body, are there instances where you catch yourself and you're like, this is not me. This is a higher power. And you're trying to stop yourself, but you just can't. Like, it's like an out-of-body experience. Are there those instances?
When I think, especially postpartum, that really, those first 4 or 5 months, I remember vividly, and I remember vividly the argument. I don't remember the details. But I remember thinking to myself, wow, now ume push, that it wasn't that big of a deal.
But unaendelea tu kupush.
Unajipata tu ukisema vitu, alafu after uko like, sasa imenitoka.
Does it give you the same effect, like to go back and apologize, or pia you must hear there's a higher power stopping you, like usiende madam?
That question, ask God. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But I think now it's a bit more, like, I think we're getting into the settling 9 months in. But yeah, definitely. Pregnancy, you get a through pass on everything. Hata wewe mwenyewe unajipea through pass. But postpartum, I remember vividly. There were a couple of arguments.
Yeah. Do you think it's changed? It's gone down right now? Like, do you feel like you're more in control?
I feel like I am more in control.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think something I've noticed more is like I'm feeling emotions more. And I'm quick to say, like, I don't think I want this. I think I want something different, especially even in our marriage context. Yeah.
Okay. So, wish I knew. One of my girlfriends is going through this with her husband now. As soon as their son was born, they've had problems ever since, and they were together since high school.
At what?
So, I wish I knew this. I wish I knew one of my girlfriends now. So this is somebody saying one of my girlfriends is going through this with her husband now. As soon as their son was born, they've had problems ever since, and
Oh,
and they
the
were
baby
together
came.
since, high school. Yeah.
A baby would do that. It would do that. And I think Nyambura put it well. She said, with every transition, we all gain new identities. And if you don't manage that transition and start to discover who the new person is, then you start to lose yourself. Because it's not the same person that you're with in high school. as you've rightfully said, I've changed, you've changed. If we don't take time to discover the new us, na wewe ulisema hiyo ni kazi nyingi, hiyo uta-engage sana. I think that's when you start to lose the relationship.
Wow, that's very deep. That's very powerful. That's really, really deep.
So I would see how they would start to have issues.
And they have been together since high school,
school.
because she's not the
She's
same
not the
girlfriend
same
from high
person.
school.
Yeah.
And for the husband, is the husband the same person as well?
I don't think so.
He's a different person.
He's a different person. And if you don't take time to know each other and even understand the marriage, because like the marriage that we have now is not the same marriage that we had before Tower came. It's also changed. So if we don't acclimatize ourselves in the new one.
But I feel also another challenge that maybe for that men experienced during this season is the fact that if you are already not in touch with yourself too much, you also don't know that you've gone through the same shift. If you're not somebody who takes time to just focus on themselves and just analyze, you would also not notice.
Ndoa ni kazi. You just have to keep on working at it. All right.
That was a good episode.
That was a really good episode. We went deep.
It was intense.
Yeah.
But I loved it. Let us know what your comments are in the comment section. If you are a parent, I would love to hear how your newborn phase experience was with you and your partner. If you are headed there, let us also know what your fears are. If you are in that newborn phase, you can just type in caps. It's not me. Caps lock. So just let us know your feedback on whatever we discussed in the comment section.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Adios.
Nashukuru pale nimetoka. Kushukuru mimi sitachoka. Nashukuru pale nimetoka.